Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee, co-host Raina. Snack of the day today will be Paula Deen home cooking grain-free jerky bites, and these are turkey, pea, and berry recipe. So I'm here today to talk about another banned book. This one is called This Book is Gay, and it is by a transgendered woman named Juno Dawson. It is the 21st banned title that I've read so far in 2025. This book was initially published in 2014. It's one that I've always wanted to read, and when I saw it was one of the most often banned and challenged, I thought it would be a great opportunity to do so. So let's start by talking a little bit about Juno Dawson. As I mentioned, she is a trans woman. She came out in 2015. She is British. She worked as a school teacher and school counselor. She has written several young adult books. Her books often feature LGBTQ plus characters, and she has advocated also for books to include more prominent LGBTQ plus representation. So, what is this book all about? Well, as Dawson says, and I'm paraphrasing here, this book is a manual to all areas of life as an LGBT person, and it is meant to serve as a guidebook for young people discovering their sexual identity and how to navigate those uncomfortable waters. The book contains definitions, information about stereotypes, how to handle bullying, fear of coming out, advice about coming out, about dating and sexuality. It includes, graphics, charts, and statistics, and it also includes some snippets of personal stories by different people. So, do we really need to talk about why it's banned? I'll just refer, how about this? I'll just refer you to chapter 6. Haters gonna hate. But okay, more specifically, This Book is Gay has faced controversy since its publication. In November of 2014, residents of Wasilla, Alaska, petitioned to remove it from a public library, with a number of residents objecting to its profanity and sexually explicit content. Dawson responded by saying the event highlighted how there is still such small-mindedness and hatred left to contend with. So she used it as a perfect example of some of the things that she points out in the book itself. Now, in 2022, it was listed among 52 books banned by the Alpine School District following the implementation of Utah Law HB 374, Sensitive Materials in Schools. So I tried to look up more info about this law in Utah. And if I'm understanding the situation correctly, it's really no longer current, or at least it has been superseded by another law. It was actually part of a larger bill that actually had things in it that the state legislature, should have been working on, I'm sure, and concerning themselves with. But 374 has been replaced by another bill, which is called HB 29. And that allows some school districts to object to a book and eventually get it banned from all public schools throughout the state. So actually, when the law was revised and they added this edition of HB 29, they actually made it more dreadful. In fact, I'll read you this, and this is from the ALA.org website, so the American Library Association website. And it says the list of newly banned books was a result of the state's HB 29, which was signed into law in March. And that was, I believe, March of 2022. Despite public outcry and persistent campaigning from librarians, teachers, students, public school advocates, and free expression experts, including PEN America, the law has now opened the floodgates for mass bans across Utah and also requires schools to dispose, and it doesn't say how necessarily, but to dispose of any banned books from their libraries. Now, there was one time, I remember a video going around of a politician who was burning some banned books. So I don't know if maybe that comes from that. I'm not sure. HB 29 is one of the most extreme book banning laws currently in effect. The law mandates statewide bans and has resulted in the first instance of a state releasing an official list of books that are illegal to stock on school shelves. The law builds on 2022's HB 374, aka the Sensitive Materials in Schools Act. HB 374 banned so-called sensitive materials from public schools, which it defined as indecent or pornographic materials existing under existing state statute. The law caused school book bans in Utah to jump from just 12 in 2021 to 22 school year to 281 the next. It was used to justify the bans of popular titles like 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. I'm not familiar with that book. The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, which I read as a banned book in 2024, at the beginning of the year, and Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez. So this is why I like to delve into the banned book situation a little more closely. It really shows how things are stepping up now. We go from maybe a parent pushing back on a book, to now an advocacy group pushing back on a group of books, to now laws that are being crafted specifically to ban books and call their presence within certain situations to be illegal. And now this law is being called the worst. So, yeah, like I say, it's a progression. Also of note, This Book is Gay was the third most banned and challenged book in the United States in 2023, according to the American Library Association's Office for Intellectual Freedom. However, it's fallen out of the top 10 for 2024. Doesn't mean there isn't a top 10, because there is, and I'm sure it's still up there somewhere, but yeah, not in the top 10 any longer. We'll see what happens when the list comes out for the decade. It'll be the 100 most banned and challenged books, and I'm sure it'll be on that. So once again, I'll put a link to a website called commonsense.org in the description, and you can read the reviews and comments and decide for yourself specifically on this book, if it's appropriate for you or a young person who may express an interest in it. Now, I think for this one, the suggested age of somewhere between 14 and 16 is probably a good target. It would be kind of the upper end of the teen years, I would think. And I do agree that this is one book where, parents might want to be aware of what's in it, before their child reads it. So finally, let's talk about what did I think of it. Well, I think this book is necessary, whether we like it or not, whether we approve or not. It gives good information to people, young and old alike, really. And this information would benefit anyone who is thinking that, they may not actually be straight. And it gives them a jumping off point to maybe gain some confidence within that community, or to regain some confidence after making, such a self-discovery. It's never easy, but, people have to be who they are. And, they just will be who they are. So this book, no matter how gay it is, and that's somewhat of a running joke throughout the book, won't change a person. If someone is showing an interest in the book, then, I can bet they either are thinking that they may be part of the LGBTQ plus community, or they know someone in that position and they want to try to help and they want to try to understand. And just like with any other book, people read it because they want to increase their knowledge base about a particular topic. So let me say this too. This book to me is not only informative, but the information is presented in a humorous way. Excuse the pun, but it's very straightforward. I learned some things from it, and I found it a quick and enjoyable read. This book has a 3.8 on Goodreads and a 4.5 on Amazon, and I would give it a solid 4. I'm also going to link another short segment from my new favorite comedian, Steve Hofstetter. And it's a humorous little segment, and it also really hits the mark. And it made me think of this book, actually, and some other banned books that I've read as well. And just one more thing. If you think that it's not important that the LGBTQ plus community have access to certain information, I'd invite you to take a look at the information on HIV and AIDS in Chapter 9, or the list of countries that apply the death penalty for same-sex couples. And then, come and tell me that having certain information, can't be the difference between life and death. Just like anybody else, I would say, know what your rights are, know what your risks are, be aware. I mean, that's good advice for anyone, I think. So that's banned book number 21. This book is Gay by Juno Dawson. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's do one more snack for the road. And have a great day.